Sonicstate here at Superbooth 2019 at the Synthstrom stand with Ian.
Hello,
We're gonna
again.
hello. Yeah. Last year, the updates to the Deluge blew my mind. I think my mind is going to get blown again.
Yeah, you got no idea what's coming.
Okay. So what is this version 3 then?
Yeah, version 3. I mean, we've even had a round of updates since what you last saw before our next round of updates that's coming. So I mean, I need to blow your mind with what we've done in the last year before I can blow your mind with what's coming next.
Okay.
As well.
See if we can. Yeah, let's have a quick flick through sort of the. Okay, so
did you hear about our new waveform view that we brought in?
I did, but I mean, it was good to kind of show the waveform.
All right, so now with any sample, you can take a look at the wave right on the grid here, and you can make edits to the start and end points like this.
Right.
And you can even add loop points as well.
So it's like a really kind of crude version, but it lets you see the start points and the end points, the overview of the waveform.
Exactly. So now we can, if we go and actually plot some into the grid here. Let's get that playing. Now we can go into the waveform here and actually just start manipulating it real time.
So that you're scrolling through the waveform with that top top control. Wow.
Go back into where you plotted it, add a few more. Go back into the waveform view again. And you can just like manipulate it live like that. So that's a nice bit of fun.
Yeah.
Or of course you could just use it normally as in setting the end and points of your just recorded wave.
Right. So
I like to use it
as a performance.
Yeah. It's
right.
And also it's like, of course, people just like look at that and go, what?
Yeah.
You know.
So, can you zoom in and out of that waveform? I mean,
exactly, that's what it is. So
okay.
You can see how close we can get in.
All right. What's a sample level?
Yeah. Go back.
That's a really innovative use of that display, being able to do that with waveform. Very cool.
It's a lot of fun. When the developer first made it, he didn't actually realize that you could just move your finger around and change it like that.
Wow.
And he was showing me, and then I was like going, I wonder if you can. And I just tried that, and then we were both like, what?
Wow.
You know,
so it's almost invented itself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's beautiful. Now I do it all the time when I play with it. So yeah, that waveform view is, I'll stop that annoying sounding sample now. So that was one of the things. Now also multi-sample support was another huge feature, which is huge on this. So now if you start a new track and we start a fresh synth, what you can do is you can just go into browse here, and you can go find your folder of multi-samples. I think I've called it multi conveniently here. Find the folder that you want to load up, and if you long press it, it's just loading now every single sample. It's detecting the pitches. It's either listening to the pitch, or it's looking at the name of the file.
Oh, it's auto mapping it all.
It's it's auto mapped that now.
Wow.
To this, and so can we actually hear it? Well, I should probably put on headphones for this to make sure that this is actually happening. Oh, and actually, we don't have the headphones plugged in. I just have to turn this up. So I think I've got kind of like a piano. Oh, you can kind of hear it there.
Yeah.
So that's an individual pitch on every single pad.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And of course it goes into the synth engine, so you can then apply any parameter you want on it.
So that's the samples are living on an SD card.
Yes. Yeah.
But then does it have to pull them off the SD card into like a RAM memory?
It's like live streaming it.
It's streaming it from the card.
Yeah.
So you really are limited by the card size rather than any kind of memory.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. And now there's actually no limit on how big a card you can use. You know, just if it's over 32 gigs, you'll need to format it to FAT32. But other than that, go wild.
Right.
So multi-samples is another huge feature we added. mute those channels now. Now, what else we've done? Oh man, we've done so much. I mean, we rolled out another improved time stretching algorithm. But we've left the old one on there because lots of our users actually liked how it broke up really badly and started sounding really crap. You know, and it's like, yeah, we appreciate that too.
Yeah,
so I mean, but we put on a more better sounding one as well.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Look, I'm sure everyone's just dying to see some of the new features coming. We can always come back to what we've done last year.
That's cool.
So now USB support, USB host support.
Support?
Exactly. All you need to do is just buy one of these little adapters, which cost 50 cents or whatever. So this is a USB male, USB-A female.
Yep.
But then you'll be able to plug in a keyboard or a pedal. Obviously, we did this because we bought looping functionality. We wanted to make sure that a pedal could control it over MIDI.
I beg your pardon, what did you just say?
Looping. It's now a looper.
You're kidding me.
Oh, no. And it's not
just...
an
audio looper?
Yeah. Oh, and a MIDI looper and a CV looper and the internal output looper as well. It's we didn't just go a little bit of looping. We went crazy. I'm not going to say we're loopy. Oh, God.
That's cool.
Okay, so
let's get loopy then.
So how this works, right? So first is like a MIDI CV looper.
Okay.
So previously you had to set your track length when you went to record. Now you don't have to do that. It'll just record for as long as you like until you tell it to stop. So when you start a new track, if that has no notes in it, let me just actually start a fresh new track. Now, if you have no notes in that, when you go to record, it's just going to keep on recording for as long as you like. So if you're playing an external keyboard or you're playing here and you're sending notes to CV or sending to MIDI, it's just recording for as long as you like. As soon as you want to stop it, you can just hit record again, and now it's just going to start looping immediately. So if you're playing to external devices, it's going to start looping those. And again, you can have multiple tracks doing it at the one time. So you can actually have 16 synths all MIDI looping, which to the same thing you're playing. It'd be weird. But
and these controls are all CCable to a remote device.
Yes, exactly. I can even show you quickly how to do that. So that's how we can use for looping MIDI and CV. Now to use to loop audio input. So we've got a new clip mode for the Deluge now. So you see how we've always had CV, MIDI, kit, and synth. So now we've made this a fifth button that now can set an audio clip. So if you hold down on a track and you press this, it now defines that as audio. Now we can set the input. We've got this input button here. So you just select the track. Now you can select left. Oh, we should watch out for the feedback there. But that's clearly showing us how it's inputting, monitoring immediately. So we've got left dot is monitoring the left input, right dot, stereo monitoring, or the output. So we select what we want to loop. Once we've done that, it's just a case of, okay, let's get some tracks going here.
Recording the output, so resampling in a looping stage.
Exactly.
Man.
So let's see if this works. So when we start this going, it's this top track. So you can see how that's resampling the output. As soon as we tell that to stop, or what we can do is we can set these tracks to set it all to launch, whereas the looper will kick in and the other tracks will stop at the end of this current bar. If we want, we can set it to start looping immediately by shift and then pressing that.
Okay.
But if we want to have it be seamless with stopping our existing tracks and then looping, we do this to the quantized version. So you see there how all the other tracks have now muted, it's gone to the loop track and it started looping that. And now this gives a really interesting workflow option because we can now go into our effectively bounced down audio and we can start making changes to this. Like we can, for example, start reversing this, or we can add effects, we can shorten this, go back to our song and then just start releasing the existing tracks we had playing while this new reversed version is playing. So yeah, that's just a really nice way that people will be using looping.
Can I ask then, is there a way for anything that you create as a loop then to be then converted into an instrument?
As in played through the oscillator?
Or just a sample for the...
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I mean, every loop you create is now stored on the SD card in a clips folder. Okay. So you can just go in there. I mean, you can then load it into the oscillator, set loop points, set start and end times, cut it to what you want, and then put it through the normal synth. Yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah. Now, one of our favorite things, and I think modular synth fans are going to get really excited about this. I might just start a brand new track. So if you we'll go set to audio again. Now we'll set to left channel. If you had, if you're sending CV loop in, you had your audio output coming back into the Deluge. What we can do here, okay, I'll just set one loop going, so we set the length. You can set what we kind of call in-house spawning, but it's kind of overdubbing, where what you can do is it'll keep on recording layer after layer, so you can be like tweaking or doing whatever you want, or like singing like vocal, like building up these really nice layers.
Each time it's like creating a new layer.
It's creating a new layer, right. And then that's beautiful. And then so you can just like go and mute these whenever you want, start playing them back. You can undo and redo those layers like that, mute them.
Yeah,
well, and of course, be adding all the internal effects on them as you want. They're all set to time stretch. So I mean, as soon as you like, you can just
tempo.
Yeah, you can just like slow it right down, speed it right up. Do
and that'll default to the new time stretching algorithm.
Yes, exactly. And also, it'll detect the tempo. So based upon your first loop that you set, it will then go, this is the tempo you want, right. And as well. So if you've got other tracks they're playing, it will set that new tempo based upon if the loop was the first thing you set. And also with that, you can now detect the tempo of a sample that you load in. You can manually set the whole track to be that tempo as well.
It'll do tempo
detection,
and extract it, set your tempo to your loop.
Yep, definitely. Wow. Now, and another thing I want to show is the new QWERTY keyboard. Have you heard about that at all?
No.
So now when you go to save. Oh, that was loading a song. Go to save a song, pops up this new little keyboard here, and you can see the letters are now printed on the case, or you can get an overlay. And so now we can just name this song. What should we name this song for Sonic? Oh, we've already got, and then you just press enter. That's actually overriding another one I had, but now we want to load up that song now. So you can use QWERTY to rename songs, to rename samples, to rename synths. And one of the exciting things coming, and this is going to be a massive, really exciting for our MIDI users, we're hoping to get this in 3.0. If not 3.0, it'll be in 3.1, but you'll be able to save the names on MIDI tracks, which means hugely you'll be able to save all your settings within a MIDI track, including all your CCs, and you can effectively create MIDI maps, templates. So, and how that will look is if you're looking at a song, for example, let's load up this one, you'll be able to just like press your finger on a track and it will tell you, okay, so rather than just being channel 1 or channel 2, it'll say Juno or whatever else you want to send it to. So that means when you're loading up a song in future, starting from scratch, you can just load in your Juno, load in your Korg, whatever, whatever other free advertising to brands I want to give on this video. So and that's just a way that you can save all your information. And it also means that suddenly now the color coding is actually irrelevant now. So instead, you could actually zoom out so you see the full length of all your tracks, because now to know what a track is, you just have to hold your finger down on that row and it will tell you, you can name, this is my bass track, this is my lead, this is my main drum, whatever. And now another thing I should show you actually is in the arranger, which we introduced last year, you can now record audio straight into the arranger, basically as if it's a DAW. So let's So we'll get a few tracks laid out here, so people are kind of familiar with how the arranger looks. So now you can designate one track to now be audio, set how long you want the recording to be. Now when you start recording, so I've set up all of those to be recording lines, and you'll see there, and that means if you use the right and left input channels, you could actually have a vocal and a guitar or a synth and a vocal, so recording two tracks over the top of all that.
And how many audio, we talked about this before, how many audio tracks could you have playing back? I think it was kind of fairly...
It's limited by the CPU, so I mean, we'll uncover that when we go to beta testing and our users will start putting it through its paces.
Right. Okay.
But I mean, but you can have a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's some of the stuff. And there's actually going to be more as well, but that's the only stuff I can show today or say what's coming. But
I think that's lots to be getting on with. I mean, so that looper functionality is the big headline news of the version 3.0.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I'll show you just how easy it is.
Oh yeah, the Minimap
pedal. So,
so again, using the host the function.
The one sort of trick with this is that will only work if you're powering it. If you're powering off mains, so it won't supply USB, it won't supply power unless you're actually powering it. But you can run it off a power bank if you still want to be portable, and that's as simple as as always, learning a function here and then just switch off and on again. Sorry, alpha firmware.
Okay. So it was learn and the function.
Yeah. And now you're running off your pedal. So you can do it with your feet, or you can just use a keyboard to change those settings as well. And you can also learn launches of pads as well to this as well. Wow. So you can learn the undo as well to a foot pedal as well. So yeah, it's pretty amazing what you can just do with a foot pedal and a Deluge now as a complete looping device.
And is that like, so if you got like a big pedal board with like say. Is it unlimited how many kind of learn mappings you can put in?
It depends on how many
on your own pedals. No, I'm thinking
Absolutely.
I've got a pedal board
that's the limitation.
Right. I've got a big pedal board with about 10 switches. Well, maybe more, 12 I think there is. Yeah. So
absolutely. I mean, in the demo video we were doing with that guitarist, he'd mapped all 8 of this to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So. When will any roadmap sort of when that will be coming out?
Absolutely. So it'll be going to beta in about 1 month. Beta. And then usually our beta process takes around 6 weeks. So we'd expect people to see this in around between 2 and 3 months.
Okay.
And yeah, of course, as usual, it's free for all our existing users. Right now it's shipping with our 2.1, which has all that stuff like waveform, multisampling, the new time switch algorithm, enhanced CPU, so now he plays more voices. Like we went from 64 synth voices to 90 synth voices or something like that. A lot.
So just for people who don't know, how much are we looking at?
So the $899 US plus shipping, generally 90% of countries are shipping as $55 US, and it ships to any country within 3 to 4 business days, which we have to do because it comes with a lithium battery. So yeah, $954 US landed. Some countries might have maybe another 100 or so in import taxes, but not a lot. Yeah. Very exciting.
Thank you so much for showing us.
No worries. We'll see you next year with some more exciting stuff.
I bet.
Yeah.